is horrible. Now, I used to think it was just an expression, girl pants, because they just wore tight pants. Until last month, I actually saw the motherfucker with girl pants on. It said like chic on the ass or something. I just don't get it. I mean, it aggravates the shit out of me. I gotta wonder when they walk into Victoria's Secret what the people that help them say. But as I hate people, I stay at home and I watch a lot of TV. And I watch a lot of shitty stuff. Just because I find it so goddamn entertaining. But I watch a lot of commercials too, even though I have a DVR. And I notice advertisements for like Pepsi and Coke. And I think to myself, who watches this and goes, holy shit, I gotta try a Coke. And so I started thinking, I was like, why don't they have commercials for other things that we all know? Like balls. You know, little balls that you play with. Little balls that children play with. Foursquare balls or other such balls. Why doesn't a guy come out like, hey kids, guess what the new fan is? It's balls! You want to play with my balls? I know I want to play with your balls. Go over to the other house and play with their balls. Balls, balls, balls. And I mean, he could just have a ball pit and he just jump into it. I'm like, it would be a great thing and make it for a great commercial. I just don't get why they don't have other commercials if they're going to have Pepsi and Coke, for fuck's sake. It's not like they advertise anything new on a Pepsi or Coke commercial, except for the new thing that the polar bear is doing for Coke. I don't know. Polar bear and Coke, I just got that. I really did. All the white Coke. Alright. I made the connection. I really did. That's not written anywhere. I really was like, oh, I get it now. Mountains of white. Ah. Moving on. More shitty shows. I watch, every once in a while, I'll watch Dog the Bounty Hunter. Which is one of the shittiest shows you can watch. Just because I love... He reminds me of my grandfather, he does. He's like, I got you, son of a bitch! You're never gonna do that shit again! Jesus loves you. I started to think, at one point wanted to be a bounty hunter or a vigilante. And I thought about it, I was like, man, that's just taking matters into your own hands. It's like masturbation. I mean, that really is taking... You ever feel lonely when you masturbate? No. No, you don't. You never at one point went, man, this kind of sucks. No, you're just thinking, oh, Angelina Jolie. Ah, Mila Jovovich. Oh, Denzel Washington. I won't tell anybody about that until I do a stand-up and they'll all laugh and think I'm joking. I also, one of my favorite shows that got canceled, and I was pissed. When it got canceled was The Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. Because this was the greatest show ever. Because Jesse Ventura, now this is not an actual episode, I'm going to make this up right off the spot. Jesse Ventura would get a call, like, yes, you say Bigfoot, and he just got elected president. I need to know more. Meet me in a half hour. He would go and meet with a dude who would show him absolutely no proof and be like, well, I saw a guy who told me about this other dude and saw a photo. And it was Bigfoot. And he had an Obama mask on. And Ventura just would be like, yes, I fucking knew it. He's a fucking Bigfoot. And then he goes back to his team and he goes, I've got something. Bigfoot, he's actually President Obama. And his team just goes... What? At some point, I'm surprised there's one dude named Alex. I'm surprised he never went, you know what, fuck it. I quit. I can't deal with you anymore. You are a fucking idiot. I quit. I'm gone. Which I thought would have made for a great episode. Alex's breaking point. But he did this shit, and then at the end of the episode, where it was supposed to be a conspiracy theory. Now my thought was, I'm going to watch this show, it's going to tell me the facts, it's going to tell me what it's not. At the end of the episode, it'd be like, well, Bigfoot turned out not to be Obama. Oh well. But instead, the end of the episode had Jesse, like it was fucking Springer's last thought, would stand there and go, well, Bigfoot, Obama, could they be the same person? Maybe. And then the credits would roll. I just wasted an hour of my life watching something for you to tell me maybe. It just cracked me up, and so I absolutely loved to watch it. Maybe it was because it was Jesse Ventura, who, again, was a pro wrestler to begin with, and then became the governor, I guess. Could have been Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't know. But he went into politics, and it surprised everybody, I guess, which is what inspired Arnold to be like, I'm going to take over the nation. I don't know why he was...
He's Irish.
Irish. But he was a wrestler. And now I'm back to wrestling. I'm coming back because I've got a whole lot on wrestling. Because I grew up with pro wrestling, as I said, and so I watch it today, and I understand it now. And as a little kid growing up with my grandpa, I thought the shit was real too. And I watched TNA, which is the newest, and for those of you who don't know, I will explain some of it as much as I need to. TNA, Total Nonstop Action. It's very provocative. WWE is more family-oriented, and TNA, as you can tell just from the name, is like, dick and balls, pussy and ass. Like, very, very vulgar. But it makes no sense. Like, literally watching it every week is like playing lottery. You sit down and you turn it on and you go, alright, it's gonna make sense this time, and I'm gonna win. And then at the end of it, you're like, fuck. Instead of $5 on the lotto, it's 2 hours of TV. And it's really, I expect Amy one of these times to be like, what are you doing tonight, baby? Same thing I do every night. Trying to figure out TNA. It's really like Pinky and the Brain. I used to grow up and I used to love that show. I used to grow up. Don't anymore. I figured it out. And I watched that show and I used to take notes on shit that they fucked up on, just for later. And I could do that. Do you notice none of them ever died on all the shit that they did? All the crazy shit that they did, they never fucking at one point ever like got squished. Never ran into a mousetrap. Never was like, I smell peanut butter. Like, as dumb as Pinky was, he never got caught, really. But I figured out why. Has anyone ever seen the mouse? A dead mouse? No. Well, you have, but you don't want to. And it's just like, ew, it's a dead mouse. Like, no one wants to see it. And unless they can bring him back to life. That reminds me of a story. There was a dude once who was a coroner. Worked in the morgue. And had this necrophiliac trend, I guess. And he gets this new body in. And it's an attractive young female. And he starts doing her. Right on the little morgue table there, and morgue slab, whatever she was on. And as he's doing her, the pounding restarts her heart and brings her back to life. I thought about this story, and from what I understand, it's true. It could be completely made up, I don't know. My thought was, what was his first thought? She's like, and she sat up, did he just go, it's ruined now? And what was her first thought where she gets brought back to life and she's like, oh my god, I'm alive, and what the fuck are you doing to me? And is it like one of those things you see on TV where the fireman saved the girl's life as she was ready to die, and so they're good friends later on, like